ran into the UPS man. I've been waiting for this. This has got to be the distributor. Oh, there it is. I'm trying to open it the wrong way. There it is. Oh, dude, look at that. Okay. So this was the old, this was my little setup to hook it up the way I had it hooked up, and they were nice enough to give me an extension and put a brand new wire on there. That was cool. Alright, so it says arrived with iron gear cap and crimped customer connector. Customer note, magnetic pickup 538 ohms, good spark in, weak intermittent spark out. Tested, failed. Replaced, new pickup, bad wire crimp. I will say it was awesome of them to fix this, and on top of it, to send me an extension. That was really cool. I was not expecting the extension. Just got an email saying package has been delivered. Oh, what's that? Oh, I've been waiting for so long. All right, let's get this thing cut open. That looks much closer to what we need. This is exactly what I need. Already assembled too, cool. Now we can put the whole thing together. The first step is going to be putting the balancer on, finishing the front accessories, and then putting the MSD distributor back in the car and taking it for a test drive. Once we've made sure that all of those things work correctly, then we'll be ready to put the supercharger on. And we should be getting a lot done in this video because I also have this ICT billet alternator mount for the other side of the block. And then we'll do an oil change, fill it back up with coolant, put the distributor in, wire that up, switch back over to the MSD ignition, and then it should be good to go to drive on the street again. I will not put this video out until this car is running and driving again. All right, so we got a lot on our list, so let's get started. So the beginning of the montage was gonna be putting the harmonic balancer on and then attaching the pulley to the harmonic balancer, right? This cool dual V-belt pulley right here. Well, it turns out it goes like that on the front of the balancer. And these are the bolts that came with the balancer. I think it's ARP hardware. And they're supposed to go down in here. And they don't fit. They don't fit in that hole. Why? Why? And not by like a lot, like just a little. Like it's almost so close. So I am in the exact same position I was in before I got all this stuff back. But that's okay because it should be a fairly simple job to ream those holes out to make them big enough for the bolts. I don't think it's gonna cause any issues structurally with the pulley. This thing looks pretty robust as a billet unit. So we're gonna run up there and get that done. And then once I get back, I'm gonna continue with the montage, putting it together. Kind of having trouble finding a machine shop. The one I was gonna go to was closed. So there's one on the north side of town that I found on Google, so I'm gonna go there and see if they're open and they can do what I'm needing to be done. I can contemplate while I'm waiting for the train to go by. This ought to be a pretty easy job, yeah?
Yeah, I'll just set it over in the manual lathe. What I'll do, the only thing is this is just a 3-point and I can't mic across there, but it's definitely bigger. See? So I'm hoping it's going to be big enough, so we'll try one. If it ain't big enough, I don't know what we're going to do yet.
Okay.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for helping me out. I appreciate it.
Well, no problem, man. I'm a car guy, so I like this stuff.
And look at all this equipment. You guys got all the fun toys in here.
Yeah, all that CNC stuff, but handheld stuff like this is more of a feel thing because of that bottom.
Yeah. Alright, so he's got something that'll go down in and make the hole bigger, which is what I needed to do. but he doesn't have one that's the right size. It wasn't big enough. It's almost there, really close, but not quite big enough. So he went to go get what they call an end mill, which is just completely flat. It doesn't have one of these pilots sticking off the end. So he's just gonna take a flat one and mill it down to that surface down there, and then it should be good to go as long as the bolt fits. How long you been doing this for?
30 years, 35 years.
Oh wow. You enjoy it?
Yeah. It gets old once in a while. I've done other things.
Yeah.
Drove a truck. Worked with IndyCar for a little bit.
I worked with IndyCar?
Yeah, down in Noblesville there's a performance marketing group that's done a lot of work with Chevrolet and run their displays around all the tracks.
Yeah.
And I worked there. I built the displays and then they got short on help, so I ended up going out with them and setting the displays up, and they kept the pace cars and all that stuff.
Wow.
So,
Yes, there's so much racing history, auto racing history around here.
yeah, there is.
And it touches everybody's lives, it seems like.
It does. Even if you're not a fan, if you certain questions you could ask them, and they pick, or a name, they would pick it up that quick, and never have any racing experience. You know, it's just, it's big.
Yeah,
That look right.
fits through there perfect now.
Let me chamfer that hole, and we'll be done.
Sure. Great, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate
No problem, man. Let's say I'm a car guy.
So I'm back from the machine shop now. Got myself a haircut. You can see they enlarged out these holes right here and deburred them and everything for me. The guy Tim was really cool. Shout out to Tim. Thank you so much for helping me out with this. So now this bolt wouldn't fit in there before, but now it goes in just fine. And I got a special socket that will fit in there. So the clearance issue is fixed on the double pulley, and now we can go to the montage. Trying to line this thing up, and the ICT billet bracket places the alternator where it is not even close. Like, it is way off of there. Like probably 2 pulley widths away from where it needs to be. So I'm gonna have to figure out some way to move this all the way back, but I can't move it much farther back because the block is in the way. So I may have to take the alternator and move it way down here, like way down there, even below the block, so it won't even be touching the block because I have to move it back a considerable amount. So I decided to go with the way it was mounted before, so with some subtle improvements. I have underneath there's like this bolt that holds the whole thing from twisting back and forth, and it needs to have a little bit of a twist to just even fit in here. At least I think that's what the other guys thought when they were building this. I had to put a little washer down there on the water pump to get this top bracket, the adjuster, to line up, and then I had to get a spacer, put it in there to get this to line up, and now that looks like it lines up all right. Much better than it was before. Before it was kicked off to the side like all crazy. So now I'm gonna have to get the right length belt, V-belt for that. It's gonna be really difficult to get the right length because I literally have almost no adjustment. There's like barely any there before it hits the valve cover, and then underneath there's barely any adjustment on the bottom before it hits the control arm. So I literally have probably about 1/4 of an inch of adjustment. That's why they had it twisted before, because with it twisted they could move it up and down much more, but when it's twisted, the belt slips and it wears on things weird, and it's just no good. So I'm gonna try and find the exact perfect length belt to be able to put on that, and hopefully I'll be able to get it so that it's tight when I put it on, and then I can snug it up by pulling it back just like a tiny bit. Way off, way too short. I measured with a piece of nylon twine, so I thought it would be at least closer than that. The belt measurements are on the outside diameter of the belt, and the outside diameter of the belt, the top side of the belt, is always flush with the pulley right here as it's going around. So I figure if we measure the diameter of this pulley, and then that we can get the circumference from that, and then we need half the circumference of this pulley, plus we measure the diameter of this pulley and then get half the circumference of that. We take half the circumference of this, half the circumference of that pulley, and then measure center to center times 2, and that should be the absolute perfect length for the belt. You can't get any closer than that. So I'm gonna measure all that stuff, do the math, and go down and get a belt that's that length. Who likes math? So we have the top pulley, A, 2.6, bottom pulley, B, 6.7. Those are the diameters of A and B. So the circumference of A is 8.2, and then half of that is 4.1. Same thing with B. We end up with 14.705 for the both of them put together. Then for the distance between center A to B is C, 16, and so the belt's got to go twice across that distance, so 32 inches. Add that to 14.705 and you get 46.705. I know it needs to be a little bit longer than I think it is, so I think I'm just going to go with a 47 and come back, put that on, and I think it'll be good. But when I get the 47, bring it back and test fit it, we'll get to see how close I was. Yeah, 46 probably. And then this one, which is a 47. So, but they didn't have anything really in between. So I'm gonna try both these out and see if I can make one of them work. This is an equipment belt. This isn't even an automotive belt. This is like for a lawnmower. But I mean, I do what I gotta do. Well, both of these are still too short. They both fit like almost the same, but this one is a wider belt, so it sits higher in the pulleys. I'm gonna need an automotive belt with a 47 outside diameter, or maybe 47.5. I went down to O'Reilly and I asked for a 47.5 inch belt and a 48 inch belt. So he went by the part number. He thought this was a 48 and this was a 47.5, but he was wrong. This is a 48 1/8 and that's a 48 3/4. So both of these are way too big, and now that was the 4th and 5th belt I tried. 6 belts I tried. 7 if you count the old one. The right one is a 7.465. 47 1/8 inch is the final length. So all I have to do is wire this thing up, tighten it, and finally the belt saga will be over. Got the heater fired up, and we're gonna try and knock out as much of this as we can today. Might even get it running today. Here's hoping. So let's knuckle down and get as much of this done as we can. Camera's rolling. Okay, here we go. Okay, ignition, fuel, alternator, tach. Here it goes. Come on, baby. All right. All right, so I think we got it smoothed down pretty well. Looks like it's running pretty good. It does seem to be running a little funny. That might just be because it's not warmed up. Oh, almost forgot. I took the fuse out of the water pump. I'm an idiot. Look at her go. Island up there, right about 14, 15. It's gonna be a little bit leaner because the air is so much denser because how cold it is. Last time I tuned it was in the fall and in a nice warm garage. I'm excited. I'm so excited. It's like a sewing machine now. Like I'm having flashbacks back to when I first got this car, and it was such a, it was just, oh my gosh, it was just such a mess. Everything was such a mess, and now it's like, man, it sounds like it's really running good. Tester in the engine bay. 150 degrees, it is really cool. Oh yeah. It's running good. It's running good. Oh yeah. It's running so good right now. Oh, dude, this is so awesome, man. I could drive it just like this. It feels so good. All right. We got it back in the garage. This actually, with the water pump on and the fan going, man, it's actually warming up this garage quite nicely. It was at 180 degrees when I pulled it in. That was only a couple minutes ago, and it's already down to 130. So this does a really good job of cooling the car down. So in between like runs and stuff, when I start taking it to events, and hopefully that'll help out a lot when the blower's on it from the heads getting overheated. Should be able to kill the car and run coolant through, cool the block down so that I won't have as much a chance of detonating. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We got to put the supercharger on first, and that's what's going to be next. And folks, that is it for this video. So still a little bit more engineering and problem solving to work out. I need a set of intake gaskets, some other things that I'm going to have to work out, the linkage, all that stuff. But the next video should be the blower either on the car or getting on the car. Oh man, it's getting nice and warm in here. Today's a good day. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the videos, please subscribe, and I will see you next time.